Hey everybody, Bo here. In this video, I'm going to share with you some easy, inexpensive LED lighting ideas that you can use in a camper conversion, cargo trailer conversion, any type of remodel, RVs, even inside your house. So I'm going to share with you what I've done in here, and I'm also going to take you inside my house and show you some of the things that I've done with LEDs to do different accent lighting. Alright, hey, this has to be one of my favorite subjects because I'm really into lighting. I like low-key lighting especially. Makes everything look a little bit better. I like accent lighting, but it's nice to have a different variety. Now, number one, I think if you're going to do lighting, you should have some bright lights so that you can light things up and really see what you need to do, because you just never know in any situation. Could even be an emergency situation where you got something in your eye, or you need to find something. Maybe you lose a contact. Me, it could be my hearing aid. Hey, who knows? It could be anything. But like I said, you want to have some bright lights as one option. And these are dynamite. I think they're about 4 watts a piece. And you just use a hole saw. I'll put some links to all this stuff that I've used that I really like. These clip right in, and as long as you have the right size hole saw, this is a 56 millimeter, I believe, and then these pop right in, and they're super, super bright, and they don't use a lot of electricity, DC power. Now, even on these, you could probably get away with just one row going down the center. But I put 4 in the front and 2 over the bed just because I wanted it to be very, very bright. But the rest of it is all strip lighting, LED strip lighting, very inexpensive. And there's a couple ways you can hook them up. You can put them on a switch like this, or you can just use them with a remote. Put a remote on the wall, Velcro it like that, and you can turn it on and off like that. I prefer to do both. Put a switch and also use the remote, because you can take the remote off and you can use it. If you buy the same kits, you can use the same remote on all of the lights. And the best thing about that too is if you buy a couple different kits and you get 3 remotes, you just leave them. They have a little tab in here, plastic tab, that keeps the battery strong so that it doesn't wear out, so it doesn't hit the contacts. Just put them in one of your drawers or whatever as backups. You get about 2 years on a battery on these things, so they last a really long time. And the most important thing, whenever you're looking for strip lights, they come in 16 foot. You can do a parameter around the side, and I'm going to tell you something. We use these hardly at all. Only when I need to see something that I'm doing, could be work related or whatever. Well, right now I need lighting so you can see me, because with it off, so anyway, the big thing is with this type of lighting, I like the ones that change colors. But number one, you gotta have white. That's normal. That's like this, and that's so you can see. But the best part is being able to change the colors, because you can set the mood and try different colors. And I think it also helps with bugs. Now also, with these lights, you can dim them down. That was all the way bright. They dim pretty far down. And let me tell you something. When you're out in the wilderness, that is plenty bright. So all of my lights, I dim them all the way down, and they use hardly any power at all. They're very low consumption. And this particular product comes in 1 foot strips, and I liked it because you could do a couple strips together. Then they had connectors, and I like that part of it for this particular build. So I put them under the window balances, and I put them here, and I also put it in the back cantina. And that's all the lighting that we use. and it is great. It really sets the ambiance because this is just too bright for me. I like everything low key, and I like the fact that you can change the color, set the mood, and again, it's a good bug defector as well, because sometimes, man, you get these bright lights, man, they swarm to it. Now, the other thing about these LEDs is there's a couple different ways you have to look for the power source. A lot of them will come with a 110, and if you're going to hook it into DC power for solar install or running off a battery, number one, you want to put it to a fuse. You can do it inline or do a fuse box. I have a fuse box right in this panel, but you just cut it off and then take the other side of the wire and hook it right into a fuse and then to your battery. I like buying it with the DC power because if for some reason maybe you buy 3 sets or whatever, you say, hey, maybe I'll use one of these in my house, because there's a lot of cool ways that you can use LED lighting, especially the strip lighting inside your house as well. Now, the other way is when you see a set that's super cheap, that's what you need to look at and see what the power source is. You also need to make sure that it comes with the infrared remote, and you want to position that to where, like this one, I have a position not real close, it's just over to the side, and if I velcro it to the wall, I can just go like that and it's on and off. I position all my infrareds so that I can just, like at night, if I want to lay in bed and just turn everything off or change the color or do whatever I want, I can just have one remote and turn everything off without having to get out of bed. Hey, why not? You know why I do it? Because I can. Anyway, that's number one. And here's another good example, like the stereo. The reason the stereo is here, number one, because it's close to the door. If I need to get to it, turn up the volume and turn it down. I have the remote right here, and if I just hit the remote, it goes on and off. Anyway, so like I'm saying, positioning things so that they're accessible. So like with a remote, you can point in a certain direction and then it'll work. So this I positioned here so it's right by the door, so if I need to turn it up and down. But also from the back in the cantina, I can put the remote back there if we're just hanging out. And there's 2 speakers in the back, so I can turn the volume up and down and also turn it off. So you really have to think about stuff like that when you do a build. Just, how things are going to flow and for your particular lifestyle. This is set up particularly for us, customized for our lifestyle. You know what they say, everybody says is there a perfect RV. There is no perfect RV, there's only the perfect RV for you. That's why building stuff yourself is perfect for you, because you build it the way you want it, how you like it, and that's the excitement of it. So back to this. So if you get it with the 110, just cut it off and then wire it straight in. Now, they also make some that come with USB that'll plug right into a USB. Now, what's really cool is you can use these in your house is, again, I'll put some links. They're all affiliate links, just so you're aware of that. And anyway, you can put these in the back of your TV. They just stick on the back of your TV. You plug it into USB, put on whatever color you like, and every time you turn on the TV, your TV will have a back glow on the back of the wall. That's kind of cool. It's nice accent lighting. But again, on those, you can cut off the USB and hook them in directly as well. So a lot of this LED lighting, strip lighting, will come in long strips like 16.4 feet. Some will come in short lengths like this, depending on what your project is. You can also get waterproof and non-waterproof. I say if you can find it for a reasonable price, get the waterproof, just because I think it's a little bit more durable. And if you change your mind and you might want to use it outside, you can do that. That's part of my plan in the future, is to do some outside strip lighting, maybe real low key on the bottom. I haven't quite decided how I want to do that. Now, the other thing too is they come with a backing that's a 3M stick tape. I don't trust anything that sticks to the wall or anything like that. And the main reason is because These things sit out here, they're an oven. So in the summer, you know, it's hundreds some degrees in here. You know, I don't know how hot it gets, but I guess that's another video. But the other thing too is in the winter. So then you have that deep freeze to where it gets down below, and that extreme temperature, things expand, they contract, all that, and I find things just don't hold. So I like to do little clips so that everything, if you're going down the road, it's not going to bounce off and come disconnected or anything. So I use little clips, waterproof as well, and they screw right in. Really easy to do, really easy to put up, and easy to wire in. Now what's really cool too is if you put them on a switch, whatever on the LED, these type, whatever color you put it on, when you turn the switch on and off, it'll be that color. So the easiest way to hook up these LED strip lighting is you can wire them direct, fuse it, and then just use the remote to turn it on and off. Oh, see, you get all these effects too. So you can just use the remote if you want. I say if you can do it, use a switch, because in that way you don't have to worry about the remote, it'll always work. What's cool about putting it on a switch is whatever color you put it on, when you turn it on and off, it'll always be that. So you can just set it the way you like it, and you know, I can dim it all the way down, turn it on and off, it'll always be the same. And then you can use the remote as a backup to just change the color or whatever. I like having both options. Now I have a set under the cantina, and I have another remote velcroed to the wall, and you can just take the switch. And what's cool is if I'm in the back, I can take the stereo remote and I can have the remote to the light, and I can turn on, as long as these switches are on, I can turn everything on and change the colors and whatever I want, all from just standing back there. That's the power of these little remotes. So for me, that's outstanding. And like I said, most of the time we never have these bright white lights on, ever. I can say hardly ever do we put those on. And all the other LEDs, we dim them all the way down at night, and it's plenty of light, and it uses hardly any power, and that's the best part. So if you're running on just one battery and you just have LED lighting, you'll be fine. But if you have other things that are off the batteries, I say you need more than one battery if you're running more than just lighting. If you're using the lead acid that have the liquid in them, those can't go below half power or you ruin the batteries. So controllers are set up to not let your batteries go below half. Now we've been out, here's a little tip for you. We've been out with just one battery. I put two in now, so we'll see how this summer goes. But with just one battery, we were having a problem at night when we would go to wash dishes and we would turn the pump on. If the pump was just drawing too much electricity, it would go below half and everything would shut down. Everything would just turn off. So if I reset that, keep everything else off and just run the lights, the LED lights would come back on. So, and then of course the next day the solar panel would recharge it and we would be good. Now we have two batteries, so we have 220 amp hours, so that gives us 100 amp hours. So we should be fine. If you get lithiums, which are very expensive batteries, the reason we don't have them, maybe someday we will, those apparently can go down to zero, just like your phone or even camera batteries. You can drain those fully and you won't ruin them. But the lead acid, you can't go below 50%. That's just the way it is. But it still works. And it's, you know, if you do what you got to do. We're doing everything on a budget, and so that's why we have the lead acid. Maybe someday we'll get to upgrade to the lithium. But these are really cool and a great accent. You can change them. And here's another one that I really like is these let me show you the box. Okay, these are really cool. These are Radiance. I got these off Walmart.com. Really cheap. I think I got these with free shipping for like $4. But you know, everything is like anything else. When you see a deal, jump on it, because Amazon prices change all the time. Walmart prices change all the time. When you see a good deal, jump on it and buy it, because that deal will not be there in the future. Sometimes some of them do hang around. But these things are copper wires, and so these, like I said, it's copper wire and it has these little LEDs. Now here's a good example of a setup, okay? Now this is your remote. So this is your infrared. So on some of them that change colors, this is what's gonna work with your remote. So you want to put this so that it hangs down to where you can point at it and it turn off and on really easy. Now if it has a plug like this, now see, this one's nice because it plugs right in like that, which is cool. But this is just simply a 110 to 12 volt adapter. So on this, if you were wired in direct, you could just cut that off and then wire it in. Make sure you have this on this side. But and some of them have USBs that plug in like that too. And that can be handy because you can use your TV, plug it in there, and when the TV's on, that lighting will go on. But these you can bend and mold. You can put them in a thing. I ordered a couple for my studio. I was thinking about making a cantina, writing cantina out of this for the back. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with it, but it's nice because they dim really nice down. See, look at that. See how cool that is, how dim? But then they're fairly bright when you bring them up. Very inexpensive, so another option for you. So now what I want to do is I want to take you inside my house, and I'm going to show you what I do for accent lighting inside the house. You probably, you may do the same thing. You may not. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. If not, just come along. So here you go. Ready? Oh, we're not exactly inside, but hey, this is my patio. As you can tell, I like lights. These aren't all LED. I'm in the process of changing, but this is great in the summer when we have the cabanas up. We put these on, plenty of light, low key. That's bright, that's obnoxious. When you sit out here with some candles, some torches, you gotta love it. That's what life's about. So let's go inside. Welcome to Bo's Bar. Hey, check it out. So I have a couple different lighting in here. This one I originally bought for the cargo trailer conversion to put on the outside, whether it be on the top or on the bottom. I haven't quite decided. But like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, when you look for this kind of stuff, you want to make sure that it can do white, so that it's all white, so it's bright and you can use it normally. But then you want to be able to, change the colors. This one was kind of different. It was more like Christmas lights. But I like this because it had a red and blue, which goes with my red, white, and blue. That's my father's flag. My father was a war hero, Purple Heart, and all kinds of medals. So the mantle was dedicated to my father. And under here I have these little puck LEDs, and I like them. Now this is all 110, but you could also just, again, cut off the adapter and wire it directly, and it would work on 12 volt as well. So, but I like these puck lighting. Same thing, it does different colors and you can change them. So in here, what I've done is all my lighting around the house. I buy these little remotes at Christmas time. So you plug that into the wall, and then you plug your lights into this, and then when you hit the remote with the corresponding number, you get 3 of them. And these are very inexpensive. They last, the batteries last 2 years on them. And I use these to just turn things on and off. And these are pretty good because you don't really have to point them anywhere. They're more, they're not the infrared type. Where on these lights, see, these are my sensors. I kind of keep them right here. I have one down here as well. That way, if I want to change the colors, so it's an easy solution for turning things on and off. Now you can use the regular remote, or if you have a plug on a switch, you can do that. That's pretty easy. But this is great accent lighting. We never have anything on bright in the house. Everything is just low key, and it's more than enough lighting. And the best part is, this uses hardly any energy. So I wish I could put everything on solar on the inside of the house, but I can't justify it because our rates are pretty reasonable here in Longmont, Colorado, which we have our own Wi-Fi, we have our own power, we have our own water, our own reservoir. One of the reasons I love this town, I like open space, so Boulder County is like #1 on buying up open space and keeping things as it is. They buy a lot of farms and everything else. So again, here's a little more LED lighting. I like these puck lights. They come in 4, so I put 3 and then 1 in the center over there. This is a separate deal. Like I said, I was going to use it on the cargo trailer, but I like it on the mantle. At Christmas time I can change it to green and yellow and looks more Christmassy, but this is patriotic, so that's what I'm going with. So let me show you the kitchen. So in the kitchen, again, the same puck lights. They come 4 to a strand. These plug right in. I have the sensor hang down. Now in the kitchen I have 4 there and 4 there. So these are spread out, 1, 2, 3, and 1 over there. There's 4 in a row over here. These I just turn them on and off with just a remote. Since I got 2 sets, I got 2 remotes. So the first one was 2 years, and then I just broke out the second remote, pulled the tab out. I'll get another 2 years out of this remote. That's the advantage of buying multiple sets. Like I say, when you get the remote, use one, take the other ones, keep the tab in there, the plastic tab, stick them in a drawer, and use them as a backup. So usually 2 years on a battery, and the batteries aren't bad. They're those little coin batteries that you can change them in and out. But this we love because we can change it however we want it, and I change it all the time. And it does white, which is normal. It's great on counter lighting. The blue is my favorite. I also use the yellow a lot, but it's fantastic under counter lighting. Let me show you how else I use it. Ready? Go. So check out this little corner cabinet. I took those same strand. You know, when you like something, you end up buying more of them. Just like the copper wire one. I bought one and then turned around as soon as I got it and bought another one. These little puck lights, I bought in a few different strands. So the remote that I was using in the kitchen for those lights, I can also just use that to turn these on and off. I like how it highlights everything in there. You can even do little effects if you want. So if you wanted to just glow and do different things, that's also cool. So there's just different things that you can do at the holidays, make things more festive, or you can just turn them on, put the white lights on, and you have normal light. Or make it cool like that. That's kind of my favorite. Like I said, you know, there are a lot of different varieties, and it's like everything else, what you like. So there you have it. I'm going to show you one more little idea besides these puck lights, since you've seen them a lot. Now these, I just drilled a hole through the top, wired them to the underbelly there, and the wires go through the top, and then it plugs in right below it, and I make sure that the sensor hangs to where you can't see it or notice it, but all you have to do is point in the right direction, and you can turn it on and off just by using the remote. You don't have to have it on a switch or anything. So here's another idea for you. We were looking for an accent light. I wanted something that hangs down, and I found these LED bulbs, and they do the same thing. They come with a remote that changes color just like the pucks or the strips. You can also put them into a mode like this. There's 4 different color modes that change. I kind of like this one because it cycles through all the colors really slowly, and it's soothing and calming to the soul. So we use this as an accent light in our foyer. But I also have it on a remote like the other ones that I had showed you, so that it just goes on and off at a punch of a button like that. And then the other remote, I just use it just to change the color. So whatever mode you have it on, if you turn it on and off, it'll stay in that mode. If you put it on blue, turn it off, turn it on, it'll be blue. If you put it in a mode where it's changing colors like this, and you turn it off, turn it on, it'll continue that same changing color mode. So, and these are very reasonable, and they last a long time. So another idea that you can use in your house, in a lamp, anything, they're LED bulbs with a remote that change colors. Let's go back into the cargo trailer conversion and finish up there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got some ideas, and it's getting your shenoggin going and giving you some different things to think about and maybe how you might want to do stuff. And again, this stuff is so simple that you can just go around the top, do a 16 foot or 2 16-foot, and you have all the lighting you need. And then there's different ones that you can just put up that you can turn on and off. I like more elaborate. These switches that I've been showing you, they light up, so you can wire them to light up or not to light up. If you don't want to do that, you can just not wire that part up. Very simple, very inexpensive. And what I like about them most is you can make your own little panel, 3/4 inch drill, and they pop right in. Perfect. That's what I liked about these too. 56 millimeter hole saw. Perfect hole, they popped right in, easy to wire, and we haven't had any problems with them coming down on the road or anything like that. So I'll put the links down below. Please check them out, and I hope you got something out of this. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. It could be about photography, also about conversions. I'm always doing something, so come along, and thanks for watching. Till next time, see ya!